In Drew Karpyshyn's novel Path of Destruction, Darth Bane abandons the Brotherhood of the Sith in search of Sith teachings that will help him destroy the misguided order. He travels to Rakata Prime, and it is there, at the Temple of the Ancients, that he discovers the Holocron of Darth Revan. Bane stepped back as the chunk toppled down from the wall and shattered on the ground at his feet, revealing a small cubbyhole behind it. With no hesitation, he thrust his arm into the darkness to seize whatever was inside. His fingers wrapped around something cold and heavy. He drew it out and stared in wonder at the artifact in his hand. Slightly larger than his fist, it had the shape of a four-sided pyramid, a tiny replica of the temple in which he stood. Bane instantly recognized his prize for what it was, a Sith holocron, a repository for forbidden knowledge just waiting to be unlocked. The art of constructing holocrons had been lost for countless millennia, but from his studies, Bane knew something of the basic theory behind their design. The information they contained was stored within the interwoven, self-encrypted digital matrix. A holocron's protection systems couldn't be circumvented or broken. The information couldn't be sliced or copied. There was only one way to access the knowledge captured within. Each holocron was imprinted with the personality of one or more masters to serve as guardians. When accessed by one capable of understanding its secrets, the holocron would project tiny, crude hologramic images of the various guardians. Through interactions with the students, the programmed simulacra would teach and instruct in much the same way as would a flesh and blood mentor. However, all accounts of Sith holocrons had made mention of the ancient symbols adorning the four-sided pyramids. The holocron he held in his hand was almost completely blank. Could this possibly predate even the holocrons of the ancient Sith? Was this a relic of the Rakata themselves? Would the guardians of the holocron be the imprinted personalities of alien masters from a time even before the birth of the Republic? And if so, would they be willing to teach him their secrets? Would they even respond to him? Moving carefully, he set the holocron gently on the floor, then sat down before it. He crossed his legs and began the deep, slow breathing of a meditative trance. Gathering and focusing his energy, Bane projected a wave of dark force power out to engulf the small relic on the floor. The holocron began to sparkle and shimmer in response. He held his breath in anticipation, unsure what would come next. A small beam of light projected out from the top. The particles scattered and diffused. They began to shift and spin, coalescing into a cloaked figure, its features completely hidden by the hood of its heavy robe. Then a voice spoke crisp and clear. "I am Darth Revan, Dark Lord of the Sith." The empty halls of the temple above trembled with the reverberations of Bane's triumphant, booming laughter. To Bane it seemed the teachings contained within the single holocron surpassed those of the Academy's entire archives. Revan had discovered many of the rituals of the ancient Sith, and as the holocron's avatar explained their nature and purpose, Bane could barely wrap his mind around their awesome potential. Some of the rituals were so terrible, so dangerous to attempt, even for a true Sith master, that he doubted he would ever dare to use them. Yet he dutifully copied them down on sheaves of flimsy, preserving them so he could study them in greater depth later. And there was far more than just the ancient practices of dark side sorcerers stored inside the holocron. In only a few short weeks, he'd learned more about the true nature of the dark side than he had in all his time on Korriban. Revan had been a true Sith Lord, unlike the simpering masters who bowed to Khan and his Brotherhood. And soon all his knowledge, his understanding of the dark side, would belong to Bane. Subscribe and follow for more Star Wars content.